breath, trying not to be over anxious. But you know he's licking his chops.
Yes. And he hits one in the air to deep right field. Back goes Ruiz near the wall. It's out of here. Juan Soto with his third career grand slam. The Mets' first grand slam of the year. 10-1 New York.
Juan Soto is putting up little league numbers at the major league level. Hello and welcome to New York Nightcap. I'm Joe Messeri.
Yeah, and I'm Perry Suka. And speaking of being on fire, can the Knicks continue their historic playoff run against Wemby and the Spurs as the NBA Finals is finally set?
Yeah, it's a carbon copy of 1999. Kids, you'll have to look up carbon copy, but it's what the CC stands for in your email. The Knicks will face the Spurs for the championship, renewing a finals rivalry nearly 3 decades in the making. The Knicks are seeking their first NBA title since 1973, while the Spurs are looking to add a 6th championship banner to their storied franchise, and the first for Wemby.
You have to, you got to figure out how to get him out of the paint, how to run him. Those little things I feel like OKC did a decent job at, but he's a special player, so we just have to contain him as a team.
I mean, that was December. Obviously, there was good energy around that, but I don't think that's really going to be any equivalent to what the atmosphere or the energy is going to be like, at their place. Obviously at the Garden. So technically, that game didn't happen. So I don't think there's anything that we can learn from.
Josh, we might not have a banner, but we do have T-shirts. It did happen, of course, the NBA Cup, what he's referencing there. But those games, well, they don't mean anything now as the Knicks come into Game 1 as dogs. 4.5 points from Wemby and the Spurs. If you think the Knicks will win out, well, you can get them at 165 plus money, Joe. You got to love it.
So, Perry, how do these two teams match up in your eyes for the series?
Joe, honestly, I like it. Those games might not count because they were a little bit ago. But if you look at the 3 games that they did play together, you have a close loss on New Year's Eve. You have a win on my mother's birthday, March 1st, a blowout win for that matter. And, of course, the NBA Cup that did, in fact, happen. They won all of those. Players going against Wemby at least 100 times in the half court. Well, the number 1 rated player in that is OG Anunoby. This team is only better than it was when they played the first time.
Yeah, you look at the defense that OG Anunoby can play when it comes to bodying Wemby, right? Mike Brown talked about it today. He's got an ability to guard guys who are taller than him. It's one of the reasons that Mike Brown said OG should have been first-team All-NBA as far as the defensive team. And I think he's going to be the X factor in this series, right? When you heard SGA in the last round say that the defense of the Spurs likes to funnel everything into Wemby, well, the defense of the Knicks is built on that length around the perimeter. And OG Anunoby being able to match up with Wemby is going to determine how those Knicks are going to be able to match up on the outside with some of those supporting role players for the Spurs who came up huge in that Game 7 against OKC.
Yeah, I mean, down second and third leading scorers still took them to 7 games. So I like the Knicks. I like the Knicks. We'll get there later.
All right, here's a little sneak peek at what the courts will look like for the finals. Woo. The Larry O'Brien Trophy is back, and it's on the floor, in the big version anyway, at Madison Square Garden for the first time in history.
Yeah, and regardless of which team wins, well, Jeremy Sohan knows he'll be getting a ring. That's right, because he played for the Spurs and the Knicks this season. He was released by San Antonio before being signed by the Knicks as a free agent back in February.
I have a feeling he's still going to want to get some revenge against his former team. And for the college basketball fans, who says the Big East isn't still the best in college hoops? Half of the starters in the NBA Finals are out of the Big East. The Knicks, of course, have Brunson, Bridges, and Hart, all out of Villanova. On the other side, it's Stephon Castle from UConn and Julian Champagnie from St. John's starting for the Spurs. Champagnie also played his high school ball at Bishop Loughlin in Brooklyn.
You gotta love it. Gotta love the Johnnies, gotta love it all. And speaking of local basketball talent, Brooklyn native Jose Alvarado has been a winner at every level, from Christ the King and Queens to Georgia Tech and now the NBA Finals. And today, well, we have a very special guest to talk about his former player headed to the biggest stage of all. Joined now by one of the best coaches in the tri-state area, Christ the Kings, Joe Arbitello. Joe, I want to get right into it. Jose Alvarado in the NBA Finals, a kid you coach, living the dream as a New Yorker. Just what is that like as a coach to watch that?
I mean, I'm so happy for him. Obviously, you have to be. I'm living the dream, too. I'm here. I'm PIX 11. I mean, I said it's amazing what I'm doing right now. I can only imagine what he's doing, but I know him really, really well, and I could tell you the only thing he's worried about is taking home that championship. He's not worried about all the glitz and glamour and everybody wanting to get his autograph. He wants to win.
I love it. So down to earth. And I love so much in the fact his first Knicks game, not introduced from college, introduced as from Christ the King High School. Just what does that mean to you in the program that he decided that's what he wanted to hear when he walked out on the floor the first time at Madison Square Garden?
I mean, it gave me chills. It just shows the type of kid he is. You know what I mean? He's always around Christ the King. He thinks he could just come by now anytime he wants. He doesn't realize he's a celebrity. But that's who he is. You know, he really is loyal to people. 4 years at Georgia Tech, 4 years at Christ the King. And he just, you know, he's just the type of kid that wants to show love to the people that show love to him.
You guys are no stranger to talent. Can you tell when kids are going to stand out? Can you tell when kids are going to be that next level and make the NBA and be on a finals team?
I mean, the only kid that I thought was a surefire NBA player was Lamar Odom. You know, 6'11", could do anything he wanted to do. Jose Alvarado, everybody else, it's so hard to get to that next level that it just seems like an impossible dream. So for me to say that I saw him doing this, I would be lying to you. But you know, like when he came to see our team, what he said to the kids on my team, which he's always competitive, he says, some of you are bigger than me, some of you can jump higher than me, some of you can shoot it better than me, but I'm in the NBA. So what does that tell you? It takes a little bit more than just talent.
What does something like this do for the school? I mean, you now have a Christ the King player playing in the NBA Finals who everybody knows.
I mean, I no longer have parents worrying about how their kids doing academically. They're emailing me. Actually, when's Jose coming? We'd like to meet him. You know, he FaceTimed me the other day when I was at the barber shop, and he wanted to come by the school, and I said to him, like, Jose, those days are kind of over. Like, you're a celebrity. I need to make sure we're prepared when you come. I'm not sure he understands how much of a celebrity he is right now, which is right to his personality, right? He's still the same kid from Brooklyn. I think he needs to come to grips with the fact, especially if they win this thing, that he can't just walk around, you know, New York anymore.
It is very impressive because, you know, he is coming off the bench, but with him, with Shamit, so many guys are ready. They're ready for when their moment's called. Even in Game 82, which happened to be his birthday, you know, he got more minutes than he had in any single game and blew it out of the water. How do you inspire that? How do you keep guys ready on the bench for when their moment's cold?
It's just, you know, when he got first called up and he was playing for the Pelicans, he told me, I'm not unhappy. I'm getting paid to sit in the best seat in the house, and I'm going to wait my turn, and when my turn comes, and that's really his mentality. You know, that's been his mentality in basketball throughout. The only time I really had to inspire him was to get to English class or social studies class. On the court, he knew, you know, he was patient. He knew it took a time. It took some you know, pushback, and so he's carried that right into his NBA career, which is amazing to me.
So, Coach, one thing I love about Jose in this playoff run, he's bringing back and one sneakers, which were huge when I was a kid. I love the Knicks colorways, all three of them. But as we know, Christ the King's a LeBron school. Here, get a little zoom in on those if we can with the jib. Beautiful sneakers. Do we have a sneaker rivalry? Maybe going on between Christ the King past and one present.
And one's not happening. Christ the King, I can tell you that right now.
Coach, last one for you. You look at Jose there holding up the Eastern Conference Finals champion trophy. If you had, I know you're going to talk to him, but if you were going to give him a piece of advice right now for going into the finals, I want you to look at that camera right there and tell him what it would be.
Love the moment, just like we told you in the city championship, because you don't know when it's going to happen again. You love the moment, make it happen, and good things will happen for you.
Coach, thank you so much for the time. I appreciate you so much coming in. I cannot wait to see how Christ the King gets to celebrate when even that game one tips off on June 3rd and all of that. Thank you so much for the time. And guys, we have so much more on the Knicks coming up and more when Nightcap returns.
NXT on the CW invites new threats as Tony D'Angelo defends his NXT championship against Cam Hendricks. All new this Tuesday at 8/7 Central on the CW.
Well, the Mets looking for the sweep in Queens today. And that's one way to set the tone. Carson Bench, Yahtzee, the leadoff homer to center, his 4th of the season. He's the 4th Met to hit a leadoff home run this season. In the 2nd, it's Marcus Semien with a man on, and that one is gone. His 5th of the year. That puts the Mets up 3-zip, and the hits just keep on coming. In the 6th, bases loaded for Juan Soto. Should have walked him. The Soto slam is grand. He has 9 home runs and 18 RBIs in his last 15 games as the Mets go on to sweep the Marlins 10-1, your final.
That situation, I know where was the pressure, I just tried to execute, get a good pitch. I know he was kind of a little wild throwing balls, so I know he's going to try to get in the zone early, so I was just ready to go. I feel like everybody knows what to do, we have a plan and we execute throughout the whole series. I think the whole lineup came ready to attack for a plan, and we all did the same thing, and we attack as a team.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying the Mets 4-0 since Jose Alvarado made an appearance out at Citi Field.
Yeah.
There you go. Joe, Juan Soto, unreal right now. Can he keep this up, and can he carry this offense?
I don't think he can keep it up because there's no reason for pitchers to keep pitching to him the way they've been doing. I can't understand it. It's like what Aaron Judge was seeing a few years ago when he was hitting 62 home runs. We were saying it time and time again. Why are they still pitching to him when the rest of the lineup is struggling? And Juan Soto's going to get that type of treatment moving forward there. If he doesn't, I think they need to psychologically test the managers of the teams he's playing against. And the thing is, when you look at how much this Mets offense has struggled overall from top to bottom, I think it's saying, okay, Juan Soto, go ahead and beat us. And the thing is, I said a couple weeks ago when he started this tear that he can hit these home runs and the Mets can still lose games, and that's what was happening before. He's starting to get a little bit more run support. I'm going to temper my expectations because this is a Marlins team that is in the basement of the National League East along with the Mets. So a 3-game sweep is nice, but let's not forget they just got swept by the Marlins on the road.
Sure did, Joe. But hey, it's sure fun to watch. Who doesn't love a grand salami, right?
All right, yeah, grannies are sick in the words of a former Met. Next Friday, it's the Mets and Padres in San Diego. Nightcap coming your way at 8:30, followed by Mets pregame at 9. First pitch set for 9:40 p.m. It's Mets baseball right here on PIX 11, most Friday nights throughout the season.
Yeah, Joe, and a special day out at Citi Field on Saturday. Bobby Valentine and Lee Mazzilli, well, they were inducted into the Mets Hall of Fame. The former roommates and teammates, well, early in their careers, they were honored for their contributions to different eras in franchise history.
Sometimes it's important to take a look back. This weekend, the Mets did just that in style. Or should I say, disguise. On Friday, the Mets gave away 15,000 pairs of glasses and stashes so that fans, too, could return to a game they'd been ejected from, just like Bobby Valentine did in 1999. And on Saturday, both Valentine and his former teammate and roommate, Lee Mazzilli, had their plaques added to the Mets Hall of Fame together.
I don't know if I can put it into words that I feel like I'm coming back home and to share it with him. So that's why it's very, very special to me.
We had a special relationship forever, and not only was he a great player, but obviously a better person. I'm very lucky to have him as part of my extended family.
Despite their overlap, the pair spans a generation of Mets greatness. Mazzilli was a member of the 1986 World Series squad and the first Met to ever homer in an All-Star game. Valentine also played for the Mets, but it's as a skipper in Queens that Valentine made his mark, with excellence like leading the first back-to-back playoff berths, silliness like the aforementioned mustache, and reverence in bringing the Mets and the city back after the travesties of 9/11.
The event of September 21st can't be topped in my memory, and it will never be topped in my future.
All of those unforgettable moments and amazing accolades come to this induction day into the Mets Hall of Fame. While both Mazzilli and Valentine knew this honor was coming for quite some time, actually standing on the diamond and putting on that blue jacket in front of the Mets faithful is a moment both say they'll never forget, as legacies built in Shea Stadium are forever memorialized here at Citi Field.
I know that I am not the best player in the Mets Hall of Fame, but I am the proudest.
It's because of you, the great fans of the New York Mets, that I am who I am today. Let's go Mets!
Well, the Yankees in action this weekend, too. And they only scored in one inning of today's rubber match with the A's.
Oh, no.
But oh, what an inning it was. Wait until you see how many runs they scored before recording it out. It's after the break.
The Yanks wrapping up a series with the Athletic, top of the third. Bases loaded for Ben Rice, and he doubles to bring two in. That one tied the game at 3 after the Yankees had been held scoreless up to this point. Now keep that in mind, because we're right back in the third, and it's Trent Grisham with the bases loaded. Well, he singles to center. Yankees take a 7-3 lead, and they go to score 13 runs in that inning, included 18 batters, 11 hits, 4 walks, and a partridge in a pear tree. Yanks beat the A's 13-8 after the game. Judge talked about the offensive outburst.
Around with no outs, and then it's incredible. That's what this team's capable of doing. You know, we got our backs up against the wall, found a way to dig ourselves out of it, and to continue to keep the pressure on them. And you know, we needed all 13 of those runs because the A's kept swinging and kind of came back there.
You know, they say they keep speeding up the game, but 42 minutes later and 13 runs, that inning is over. Joe, is that good? Is that a good frame?
Yeah, it's a really good frame. And, you look at the way the Yankees did it. That's what's most impressive to me, because we say all the time how reliant they are on the home run ball. Well, they did this death by 1,000 paper cuts here. It was single, walk, double. And they just kept going. 18 batters to the plate in one inning. That's absolutely insane. Michael Kay put his scorecard up after the game. He posted it on Twitter, and it's literally 2 innings that are completely full up and down the lineup. They scored 10 runs before they recorded it out. The problem is, though, it was the only inning they scored. As Aaron Judge said, they needed all 13 of those runs. I'm hoping, because sometimes when your team scores that many runs, you say save some for another day.
Sure.
So we'll see if they save some for another day.
Look, if it was the 9th, I would have been worried, but it was the 3rd. Yeah. So you did that, you got the lead, and then you're coasting. And you changed batters. 18 guys went, Joe.
Yeah.
18.
I know.
It's a lot.
We'll have plenty more Yankees coverage tonight right here on PIX 11 immediately following Nightcap. You can stay tuned for Yankees Nation. WFAN radio host Chris McMonagle will join us as always.
Well, Joe, tennis, anyone? There have already been a couple of big upsets in Paris at the French Open. Kate Rooney, well, she didn't make it to the City of Lights, but she did check out Roland Garros experience in Lower Manhattan today. So that's coming up soon.
It's not Roland Garros?
We're going back into time.
All right, I got news. You ready?
PIX 11 is giving you a late-night doubleheader.
That seems like a no-brainer.
This is the big league, the big time.
With New York Nightcap at 11.
Your late-night sports fix.
Followed by the classic comedy about nothing.
It's not about that. No, it's about nothing.
Up your late-night game. A sports show with a twist. New York Nightcap at 11.
I told everybody I know to watch it.
Followed by Seinfeld at 11:30.
I'll be there in all my glory.
On PIX 11.
Well, in college baseball, the Johnnies' magical run keeps on rolling. Down 5-0 to Northern Illinois, St. John's comes storming back to win it 21-8. Red Storm advancing to their regional final, their first regional final since 2015. They need just one more win to advance to the Super Regionals.
How about that? And back over to tennis, Novak Djokovic and Iga Swiatek among the former champs already eliminated from Roland Garros. But the French Open, well, it rolls on. Today, Kate Rooney went down to the Seaport to check out the Roland Garros experience. Sponsored by TNT Sports, a great spot for fans to watch matches outdoors, hit a few balls, and enjoy other tennis-themed giveaways.
The French Open is underway. We are down at the Seaport for the Roland Garros experience. This event is hosted by the Lawn Club and presented by TNT Sports. They have so many fun things to do. We're going to go check it out. Come on.
I'm like, I have to go now. It was free, and it was just a quick train ride away, and I couldn't miss it. I love tennis. It's been really electric watching in this kind of fan zone and being with all these people who really care about the sport.
We are about to try to hit some balls. on the court. I don't know if that's clay or what. I know the stakes here are really low, but I haven't played tennis since high school PE, so I'm actually starting to get a little nervous as the line starts moving. You got any tips for me?
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard. Okay, I like it. Always good advice.
I get excited about the attire and the people watching, but he follows the actual sport. But I love the conviviality and any excuse to enjoy an afternoon outside.
So as I mentioned, this event is hosted by Lawn Club. So if you've had enough sun, you can go inside, play some games. Beautiful weather, Grand Slam tennis, and lawn games. The perfect way to spend a Sunday.
Well, she drew a tough assignment today, huh?
Yeah, merci.
Back to the NBA Finals. Right now, Wemby has the best odds of winning Finals MVP. Right behind him is the Knicks captain, Jalen Brunson. Then it's Kat, Stephon Castle, and OG Anunoby finishing out the top three. So that's what Vegas says. Perry, what do you think?
Joe, I'm going to go ahead and say I finally tracked down my Finals merch.
All right.
But it's going to be obsolete because I'm thinking Knicks in 6, and I'm thinking it's Jalen Brunson or OG Anunoby. We already talked about it. I think they got the defense. I think OG is the difference maker, like you said.
Yeah.
But Brunson's the captain. If Brunson has another 61-point game and Wemby doesn't throw the ball into the stands, he's going to get your MVP.
Listen, I said it earlier. I think OG Anunoby is going to be the key to the series, but I told you upstairs, winner of Game 1 is going to win this series. Knicks can't come out rusty. We saw what happened against the Cavs. They let Game 1 slip through their fingers here. Could be trouble.
Could be.
We'll see. That's why we watch. We'll be in San Antonio, live for the NBA Finals. So make sure you keep it locked to New York Nightcap all week.
Knicks in 6, guys.
Joe, thanks for watching. Have a great night. Yankees Nation's up next.
Have yourself a nightcap.